I love to give you ideas, tips, tricks, comments along the way that's going to help you with your quilting process. Go ahead and hit the arrow right down over here. It'll take you to more of Nancy's quilt getting stitched out. You can see we've got here Carpenter Star with 3 layers. I'm doing it in my new design called Charlotte. Love it so much. Just some nice soft swirls to give her friend some love, making this for a gal a good friend that needs some special attention while she's convalescing. Doing it in my beach grass colored thread. Look at that backing. She's scrumptious. What I want to talk to you about actually is pressing before we get too far along, because we're almost done with this, and I should have done it sooner, but we're going to give it a try. As you can see, we have got a lot of seams coming together in the center of the star right here for the Carpenter Star. When this is happening, my friends, I really want to encourage you to press that seam open. Press that open. In fact, if you want to even leave a little bit wider seam there, to be able to allow my machine to go over it easier. If you've watched other videos, you've seen there's like a dime's distance between the top of the hopping head and the bottom of the foot, the foot, what's the word I'm thinking of here? Plate, the foot plate. So I don't have a lot of distance there. By the time we get the top, the seams, the batting, and the backing, that's about how much space we have. So if your seams come with lots and lots of overlaps, it's going to be really hard for her to be able to stitch over it. So I just want to encourage you in your pressing to be very careful with those big seams right there. I'm actually tempted, we'll see if this will work. We're actually going to halt for a second, and we're going to pull up some of that, and we will rebaste it. Let's pull up this quilt clip right here because we're almost to the end. So I want to show you the pressing job here. In most of the areas, she's pressed it flat in toward the diamonds and the stars. So what does that do when you press it in toward that section that's causing this part to stand out on the top just a tad? And then as she gets closer to the centers of some of these areas, she's tried to keep it flat, but not always pressed it open. So again, given the option, I would suggest that you press those open whenever you have a lot of seams. But because she did press everything in toward these stars, it's actually raised this up just a tad. This is literally raised on both sides because the seams are going underneath of all of these. Isn't that great? So because of that, we've got that raised up just a tad. Something to be aware of when you're doing your quilting, when you're doing your pressing, is which way are your seams going and what's being caused to be raised up just a tad in the process of that. It's called turn of cloth, and it takes up just a little bit extra space because of the way that you have pressed it. Okay, we're going to get her started again.